So first off, Ted, let's start here. Can you remind our listeners about why you decide to depart from the big market up there in New York with Vince Senior's WWWF?
Well, I think it was just timing. I started in 1975, right in Mid South, and stayed in Mid South for a good while. Then I went back. I was still married to my first wife, and went back to Amarillo, which is where I had met her. And it's timing. I had gotten over in St. Louis, and St. Louis was a market where the talent came from all over the country. It's really weird. I mean, St. Louis was technically part of the Kansas City territory,
Hmm.
but it was like an entity to itself. The talent that came from all the territories, and so that's why that's what I think where like New York heard about me.
Okay.
So and so I went up there the first time, and I was on the opening matches and stuff like that, and I did I won this thing. I won the North American. Well, okay. Um, they called it. They had a North American champion, the North American heavyweight title.
Hmm.
And when I told Vince Senior that basically that Bill Watts and Mid South Wrestling, that they had a North American heavyweight champion, then they did this thing. I mean, it's wrestling, right? They you make up a story, and the story was that Pat Patterson went off to this tournament in Rio de Janeiro, and everybody put up their title, and the winner of the tournament came back the Intercontinental champion, and that's how they changed the belt name. So
So in theory, without Ted DiBiase coming to the territory in 1979, the Intercontinental Championship might never have been a thing because Vince Senior might never have been smartened up to the Bill
yeah,
Watts situation, and he might have
yeah,
just kept calling it the North American belt.
yeah, exactly.
Look at that. All right, so Ted DiBiase responsible for the Intercontinental title, and ironically, never held the Intercontinental title.
Exactly. Because I didn't stay that long. I just, I felt like the timing wasn't right. I mean, I wasn't, you know, um, I needed to, and again, it was like I'd only been in the business like 4 years,
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 active years, and I just, I just felt like I need to go now, and I can come back and try this again, and I don't want to kill myself and look like an underneath. And they didn't. I didn't open the shows. I wasn't on the first match or something. I was usually a semifinal or whatever. But again, I dropped that North American title to Pat Patterson in Madison Square Garden.